go live. I normally do a little videos, shorts, to give inspiration and hope. But today I wanted to talk about acceptance because right now, a lot of people are having a hard time accepting the situation that has been thrust upon us. So I thought I would want to talk to you about the importance of acceptance because when things cannot be changed, if we don't accept the situation, we are only struggling within ourselves. So recently, I was talking with a client whose father is dying, and he was telling me, I can't accept it. I can't. And so, what we talked about was the fact that he has no other choice but to accept it. Is it easy to lose someone? Is it easy to go through the grieving process? Absolutely not. I have gone through it myself, and I'm sure that all of you have gone through the grieving process at one time or another, whether it's the loss of a family member, a friend, an animal, a pet. We've all lost someone or something in our lives. It could be a home. Yesterday, there were lots of fires going on, and my son was driving to work, and he says that he was watching the news and houses were just going up in flames. So it's not easy to lose anything. And there has to be a grieving period, right? We can't avoid the grieving period. So I wanted to talk to you about the importance of acceptance because if we don't accept something that cannot be changed, then we are struggling with ourselves, with our minds, with the processes that we are going through. So my cat's right here under my legs, just bumping into my leg, trying to get my attention. Okay, so I want to hear from you. Is there something in your life that you're having a really hard time accepting, but that there's nothing you can do about it? For example, a friend of yours that you love moves to another state and you can't deal with it. They're your best friend, you spend a lot of time with them, and you just can't deal with the fact that they're no longer going to be there. So you refuse to accept it. But really, your acceptance is it has to happen because that person is leaving no matter what. Welcome, everybody. We're talking about acceptance today and how important it is to accept the things that we cannot change. I know for all of us, there are certain things in our lives that no matter how we slice it, we can't accept it. But like I said, it's in our minds. The struggle becomes in our minds because the situation cannot be changed. So let's say I want to be younger than I am, and I can't accept the fact that I'm getting older. And I say no, I can't accept it. I don't want to accept it. So then what happens? I struggle with myself. Maybe I'm looking for special creams to make me look younger, or start doing things to enhance my youth. That's not going to happen, right? I mean, I can do a little bit, but most of the time it's not going to happen. I'm not going to turn back the clock. So any problem I have with acceptance will be in my own mind. It will not be anything that I will achieve to be able to make a change for something that is unchangeable. Does that make sense? So I want to hear from you. I know there's not too many of you, but there's one person here. Is there something in your life that you have struggled with accepting? And it could be anything. It could be moving, someone breaking up with you. I know I've had a lot of clients who have gone through breakups and they cannot accept it. Unfortunately, there's nothing they can do about it because the person has already left and they're not going to take them back. But without accepting it, what happens? That person goes into misery. They can become depressed. I get that there's a grieving period after someone breaks up. I've gone through it. I'm sure you have gone through it too. We all have. So let's suppose that the person leaves and they said, I'm not in love with you anymore. I'm done. You can fight it, or you can say, okay, I get it. You don't want me anymore. So I'm going to accept it. And when you finally accept something that cannot be changed, that is when you open the door. That is when you create an opportunity to move in another direction. While you're fighting your mind, because remember, I said if you can't accept something that is unchangeable, then you're only in struggle with your mind. So if you continue to struggle in your mind, you are not opening the door to new possibilities. You're stuck. And I have a lot of people who are stuck. They're stuck in their non acceptance and they cannot move forward. They are thinking, well, something can change. Maybe they'll be back, and maybe there's something I can do. And so all their energy and focus goes into what can I do to change it? Even if that's the person said, I don't want to be with you anymore. Or our appearance. We don't accept our appearance. Then what do? I mean, we have to look at ourselves in the mirror every day, right? Unless they're blocked out. So if you can't accept your appearance, okay, maybe there's a few things I can do to change that. I can change my hair, I can cut it, I can color it. Okay, that's all good. But there's a greater part of our appearances that we cannot change at all. And we accept it. We accept it, we embrace who we are, and then we open the door to new opportunities. So I hope that's helpful because I know a lot of us have trouble with accepting things that we cannot change. And it is, I think, across the board for all of us. We have that problem because we are set in what we want our lives to be. We create a plan in our minds and we say, this is it, this is what I want, and this is the way it has to be. Guess what? We can want something, we can want it badly, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen no matter how hard we try, no matter how hard we want it. But it doesn't mean that that's it. That means that new things are coming our way. It's the new opportunities, right? When we lose something, we first have to get to the point of acceptance. And if we're losing somebody as a person who's dying, that's that's a process that we all have to go through, right? We have to go through the denial part, through the anger, through the bargaining, through the depression, and finally getting to the acceptance part. And that takes a while. And sometimes, even after we get to the acceptance part, we slide back into denial again. Oh my God, I can't believe that they're gone. I can't believe that I won't see them anymore. Certainly, that's not intimate. Okay, this is a perfect example. If the person doesn't want you, I get that it's painful. Rejection stinks. There's no way, I can't sugarcoat it. Rejection is terrible. But if they don't want you, hold on to your integrity. You're worth more than that. Don't chase them. Don't beg them to be with you. And remember that it's not necessarily about you. They may not want you for a reason that is unknown to you. So, bye bye. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to find someone who does want me. So you start accepting it by saying, I'm worth a lot. I am worthy of love. And I deserve someone who is going to love me back. So don't ever change. Hi, Freddie. I am all good. Yeah, thank you for joining. We're talking today about acceptance and how hard it is for all of us. I have a client right now whose boyfriend left her. She can't deal with it. She is in total depression. The guy has proven time and time again that he does not want her, yet her life has become static. She's become paralyzed, mentally paralyzed, thinking that there's no one else for her out there. You're grateful. Oh, hi, how's it going? Anyway, so it's important to learn to accept what is unchangeable. It's a bereavement. Yes. When we lose someone, if it's even if it's someone who's breaking up with us, not necessarily lost from a death, that is also very painful, if not more so, because the person is still around. You might see them on social media. You might think, "Oh my God, there they are. There was somebody new," and then that hurts you even more when you're seeing them. So I always suggest, if you're breaking up with somebody or somebody breaks up with you, keep your dignity. Keep your dignity and say goodbye and eliminate them, block them, unfriend them from your social media. You don't need to see that. Turn the page, and then move on. Move on. There's always something new, but what happens is that we often think, because maybe there was, well, let me back up. When someone breaks up with you or we break up with them, it's not black and white. The person may not have been all bad, we may not have been all bad, but there's some gray areas. And when the person breaks up with us, we think only about the good things, and we miss, sorry, and we miss the parts that were good. And so we focus on that and we think, oh my God, nobody will ever love us like that. I can never find another love like that person. They're the best. I can't, there's no one out there for me. I guarantee you that there is. I've been through it myself several times. Breakups, painful breakups that I thought my heart would break in my chest, because I thought there's not going to be anyone else. But guess what? There was. Each time there was someone else. And I'm happier now because I've learned so much from all those failed relationships that didn't work out. I thought that they were, for my daughters, it was like green for, oh yes, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. So an illness can also creep into our lives. And now we have to accept it. If it's something that we cannot change, what do we do? Right? We have to try to find hope and peace in what the situation is. But that's very tough, because we may love that person so much and we don't want to see them struggling or hurting. And now they have this, horrible illness or disease or anything like that. And now that's something that has to be accepted. But you can also do the best that you can to try to help them to find peace too. Or medical treatments, go to different doctors, talk to different people, do research. So there are some things that can be done in cases like that, but sometimes it's done. It's what it is, right? I have a client whose father is slowly dying because he's got leukemia. He's not going to come back from that. And he says, I can't accept it. I just can't. You have to. You cannot not accept it, right? Yeah, well, he's a client. I don't know him very well, but I feel for his loss because I lost my dad 4 years ago. And no matter how much I wanted to have him in my life and have him continue to be my mentor and a person that I loved, as someone said, there's a lid for, oh, I love that. And there is a lid for every saucepan. You may not be able to find it right away. It may be stuck in there with all the other pans and everything else, but there is. But when it comes to losing a loved one, you may not find the exact lid, because that person that you lose could be a parent. Oh, yeah, you're very welcome. That person that you lose could be someone that is just an amazing influence in your life, and it's going to hurt no matter what. It's going to really hurt. So, acceptance. I'm not saying this lightly. I'm not saying that accepting something unpleasant is fun or easy. I'm not saying that. And some lids are not perfect, exactly. I'm saying that when something cannot be changed, the only option, the only healthy option is to accept it. That's what I'm saying. When something cannot be changed. If something can, hey, go do the best you can. Try to change something. If it gives you comfort and peace and allows you to say, hey, I did the best I could, but it still didn't work out. If there's nothing you can do, then accept it. Okay, and that could be in any situation in your life, whether somebody leaves you or whether your book, doesn't make it to the bestsellers list. That's me right now. I published a book. I had all kinds of high hopes for it. Spent a lot of money on marketing. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. When it's easy to say these things when one is not the person with the issue. Well, I still think that it's not that easy, Freddie. I recognize how hard it is because I think we all share the human experience, don't we? All of us have maybe different and live in different areas and be different sexes and be different everything, but we all are human and we all share that human experience. Gotta accept things you can't. Yes. Sometimes you have to let go. Yes. And that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you have to let go if you cannot change something in order to open the door for something new, for something that might even be better for you. But you don't know what's around the corner. None of us have a bird's eye view of our lives or anybody else's lives. We're just down here with every other pedestrian. We're not up there looking down and knowing there's something around the corner that we can't see yet, right? So, time is a great healer. It doesn't necessarily take away the pain forever, but it dims the pain, so allowing us to go on in life. Losing a loved one, that's can get you, especially if you're losing a child or someone very special to you. I mean, children, I think that's probably the worst loss that a parent could experience. And I don't think time's gonna heal that, but it's gonna dim the pain. And then we become used to living with a new normal. You go and plaster over the wound. Yeah, yeah. Plaster over the wound. I mean, sometimes those wounds, man, those wounds are deep. They're deep and painful. And what can we do, right? So this is why I wanted to talk about this today. And like I said, I don't normally go live, but I might start doing it more often. I normally just post shorts, but this is reminds me when I used to be on Periscope. I used to broadcast like 5 or 6 days a week for an hour, and that took a toll. That was a lot, but it was a lot of fun, and I met great people. So I may start to broadcast live more often because then I can actually talk to the people who are watching. Yes, the Periscope days. I used to love the Periscope days, and I actually did that for 5 years. It is great to be live again. It is. And like I said, I hadn't done it in a while. And I've been so sad the last couple of days because of everything that has gone on in the world. And I thought, what can I do? What can I do today? Because I can't change. I can't change the situation in life, right? But what can I do? Maybe I can speak out and talk to people and share a little bit of insight that has helped me in my life and acceptance. The world has turned orange, indeed it has. But we can't change it, right? So that there comes in the acceptance. We cannot change it, but what can we do to better our lives? And this is for any situation that happens with us in our lives, okay? So what can we do? If something happens in our lives, and I want to hear from you guys, the people that are here, what has happened in your life that you've had a huge difficulty acceptance accepting. And you finally said, okay, I've got to let this go because I'm making myself sick. So is there something in your life that has happened that you just keep saying, no, I can't? Also, I want to add that having a tribe and a collaborative group will really help, because when you can't see beyond what's in front of you, somebody else on the side can say, hang on a second, there's hope out there, there's goodness out there. Don't worry, it'll be okay. We all need that that support and love from people that love us. Okay, and when we are down, surround yourself with people who love you. I want to now wife. Oh, she was the. Oh my gosh! So diagnosed with MS. That is a very serious condition. And how are you dealing with that right now? Is your wife still, she's diagnosed? Okay. Yeah. How could it not knock you? There are some truths that happen in our lives that knock us down. They knock us down, and there we are facing it square in the eye. And life steps in and takes what it wants. Oh my gosh. So you have, is that a genetic? Is that a genetic? Is MS a genetic thing? The loss of my mom and older brother in a span of 6 months. It took me, wow. Okay, now, so I'm talking about you losing one person, and that's hard enough. Now, add another person within a very short amount of time. That can get you down on your knees. Yes, my friend ghosted me because I told my true feelings. Okay, so let me tell you, thank you. Uh, Let me tell you something about people who ghost. Okay, they're cowards, first of all, and I've been ghosted in my life several times. And I just think in my mind, I wonder what happened. Okay, bye bye. Because if you tell someone how you truly feel, if you tell someone and they leave, then are they truly your friend? Is that the kind of person you want in your life? Okay, no problem, Freddie. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. So if someone leaves you, then you say goodbye, good riddance, because you can't live a disingenuous life. You need to speak up your truth, especially if the truth is nothing bad, if you feel a certain way. But if the person rejects you for that truth, that means they are not accepting who you are. That's information that you need to know. So, do you want to keep that person in your life? Reassess. So, you don't want someone, thanks, Devin. You don't want someone that is going to reject you for opening up and sharing your feelings. Because guess what? It is not about you opening up and sharing your feelings. It is about their inability to hear it for whatever reason. They're seeing life, remember, through their filter. Their filter. We don't know what's behind that filter. We all see life through our own personal filter. So let's say I was abused as a 10-year-old. I'm going to see my life through a very different filter than some little kid who was raised in a Hawaiian beach and used to go swimming every day. They're going to see things from a different filter. Maybe their filter is not going to be as murky, right? But we see everything through our experiences, the way we were raised, the way we were taught to be. Maybe we see them through lies we were told. We don't know. When we grow up, our parents tell us things through their filter. And maybe they were told things that were untrue, and now they're passing it to you, and now you're passing it to your own kids. And now, you know, I'm going to give an example. Let's say uh, uh, you hate dogs, and you tell your kids dogs are bad. They bite because when you're 4 years old, you got bitten in the park by a little yappy chihuahua. And you say, that's it. You know what? I hate dogs. Dogs are mean. I'm going to become a cat person. And now you raise your children with a fear of dogs. Now, guess what? They grew up and their little filter is in there, is fear of dogs, because that's the little filter, the little plate your mom and dad put in there because of their experience, right? So now you grow up and you meet somebody and they love dogs. In fact, they work at a shelter. And now you're thinking, oh my God, this guy is a psycho. I can't believe he works with these animals, these horrible, violent animals. I can't date that person. And now, see, that's your experience. And they're saying, I love you. You're great. I want to be with you. And you're saying, no, I don't want to be with you. You're a dog lover, for crying out loud. That's my filter. So I break up with a guy as soon as I find out that he works at the shelter. I break up with him, and he's thinking, what did I do? What could I have done? He didn't do anything. He likes dogs. Most of us do, right? Especially puppies. So he says, that's it. I don't understand it. Had nothing to do with you, did it? It had to do with the filter that you got put in there about dogs, and that they're violent and vicious and don't ever have one in your home. They could turn on you. They could kill your child. I mean, yeah, maybe some dogs could. Some dogs have been known to turn on family members. I mean, that's a rare thing. But so do you get you get what I'm trying to say here? I know I've diverted a little bit, but I started talking about acceptance, but it's all it's all it all fits. So don't, when someone leaves you, it's not necessarily because it's something you did. It could be just because they're looking at you through their own filter, and their own filter is not like yours. So I think I'll stop it here for today. If you want to see more live videos, put it in the comment, if you enjoyed. And you can also give me some topics that you would like to discuss. I'm up for any topics, you guys, especially in the area of psychology and relationships. So put it in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'm trying to grow it. Subscribe and put on your notifications. I have a lot of videos. You want more? Okay. Also, if you want more videos, put it in the comment section. What would you like me to talk about? What are some of the topics that are of interest to you? You're very welcome. Well, I'm going to try to make more of a presence. So yeah, before you leave, just put on what would you like me to talk about, and I'll come up with some more topics for you guys. Thank you for those of you who joined, and I really appreciate it. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.